Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. So, a little less than a week ago, the MLB gave their financial proposal to the Players Union. Now, last night, the Players Union has come back with their own proposal to the owners and to Major League Baseball. So, we're going to go over all of the details and we're going to discuss what we think about it. Is there going to possibly be a season? Is this going to help there be a season or going to hurt it? And so we'll get into all that in a second. All right, so let's get into some of the main things here. So the very first thing, I took a bunch of notes over here on it. The very first thing that they proposed is that the season is going to have 114 games from June 30th until October 31st. So if we look back at what the MLB proposed, this is 32 more games than the MLB proposed. So the players want to play more games. Now, the big one, the next thing is that the players will not take any additional pay cuts, and they still want to be paid on a prorated per game basis. But now they're also playing more games, right? So the owners wanted them to take a pretty big cut, especially players that were making a lot of money. They wanted them to take a pretty large salary cut even after getting prorated. And the Players Union has come back and said, no, we want to be paid on a prorated per game basis, and we're going to play 32 more games than you originally wanted. Now, they do have a couple of deferrals in here, so let me read these real quick. So there's a $100 million deferral if the postseason is canceled or shortened. And then there's also an additional salary advancement of $100 million for next spring training. The players had already received the $170 million advance to cover the first 2 months of the season. So we have a $100 million deferral, and then we have salary advancements. And so a lot of MLB's revenue is kind of tied up in postseason media deals. And so one of the concerns with Major League Baseball is that we get a regular season started and then we get close to playoff time in the fall and a second wave of COVID-19 hits that wipes out the playoffs, and now all of this revenue that Major League Baseball thought was going to be coming in never does actually come in. So one of the things that has been thrown around here is that if the postseason is canceled, contracts of $10 million or more before being prorated could be deferred. And it's saying that teams with large payrolls could receive as much as $7 million in relief under this system. It also says deferred payments would be made with interest in November of 2021 and November 2022, and that this gives the owners kind of a cushion in the form of almost $100 million altogether. So another thing that the union threw in here that is new is that they said that any player that is deemed high risk or who lives with someone that is considered high risk can opt out of playing and receive both service time and pay. And it says all others can opt out as well, but would only receive service time, not pay. Now, a couple of the things that the union offered that I think the owners and MLB will actually agree with is an expanded playoff system. So it says for this year and for next year, they would have an expanded playoff system. So it looks like they'll be adding additional teams to the playoffs, which I think both fans, players, Major League Baseball, everybody would be in agreement with. TV networks typically are going to pay more to have additional playoffs. And so it's a win-win basically for everyone involved because it's going to bring more money into the game. Now here's another few things that the players would agree to provide: in-game microphone usage, special programming away from the ballpark, and also the possibility of an off-season home run derby and all-star game. So there's a lot of stuff kind of thrown in there. And up to this point, the league's position has kind of been that the more games that are played actually will cause the owners to lose more money. That's one of the reasons why they only wanted to play half a season. And so with the players union saying we want to play more games, I don't know how that's going to fly, especially where the players want to be paid on a per game basis, which means they're going to be paid more. And the owners have been saying all along that unless the players take a pay cut, this season isn't going to happen. So I don't know how much of a counter offer this is from the original offer from the owners. I feel like they kind of disregarded that entire offer from the owners. Not saying they shouldn't have, I'm just saying that's what it feels like. And so I don't know how this is going to be received. I have heard rumors that an owner has already come out and said, no chance, it's a non-starter, like this isn't going to happen. Now that's just a rumor, and that's only one owner. So we're going to have to wait now and see, because this just basically came out last night. And we'll start to hear, I think, some rumors and some leaked information on how the owners are looking at this offer from the union. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. For me, this feels like I don't know about this. I was kind of expecting something like this, I guess, but I don't think that this makes me feel any better that the owners are going to look at this and say, yeah, we can work with this. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but we'll wait and see here. And as I said in the last video, we're coming up basically to that deadline now, right? If we want to get if we want some type of spring training, which the players need to get ready, and if they expect to open this season up by the end of June, we have a month right now. We have basically less than a month to get this going, and we're still negotiating, and I don't even know if we're getting any closer. So we'll see what happens here. I'll keep you guys updated. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell. Give it a thumbs up. Share with all your friends. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. We really appreciate that. That's all we have. We'll talk to you later.